Hello, here's a video on filters and sorters. So what I mean by filters and sorters, what I mean is if you've got a table, not necessarily a table as in formatted as a table, but just a table as in some rows and columns of data like that, for example, and I want to be able to filter by each of those columns. Yes, you can simply come in and highlight that and then go to data and then go here to sort, and it'll then sort, it'll pick a column and sort by from A to Z, or you can actually open this up and you can say sort by column D, cell values A to Z, and add various levels of how to sort. That's fair enough, but sometimes you just want a quick solution and you've got this data and you just want to be able to click at the top and go sort by this. So what you can do is you can add in some filters. Now, what I often see people doing is they will actually include their header and add the filters. And then you can see those little filters come on the headers like that. The downside of doing it like that is when you actually lock a spreadsheet. So if you're making a spreadsheet and you're going to unlock some cells for people to fill in, and you're going to have other cells locked so that they can't override formulas, etc. For example, if you were to buy one of my spreadsheets, I would obviously have locked the spreadsheet down. So you, in order to give you access to be able to sort these cells, these headers would need to be unlocked. You can't have those headers locked in a selection. So I need to unlock those headers, and sometimes those headers are important and the text can't be changed. So that opens up all sorts of issues. So what I actually do to get around that is, you'll see on a lot of my spreadsheets, and this is what I recommend you do as well, is actually having a double row header. So we put the header at the top, and then we have a row below it. So the way we color this in, we color that in one block so it looks like one header, but actually it's two rows. And the second row here, we can select that. Now we can go to format, and we can go to protection and unlock that when everything else is locked. So that section's unlocked, and we can click on the filter under the data tab, click on filter, and now that section there is filtered, which means the headers are locked. You can't change them. That's the first pro. The second pro is this is unlocked, but these cells aren't being used, so it's not a problem. If someone types something in there, it makes no difference to the spreadsheet. The other advantage is here we've just got a D, but if you had a wider header, for example, that fitted in the column, and now you added that filter in, that filter would cover that text and you wouldn't be able to see what it is. So there's advantages to having putting a double row. Once you've got a double row, select the second one and everything below it. And because we've predetermined what that range is where we're going to be filling in cells, we can then do the filter. The other reason why you want to predetermine where that is because if you did the filter to here, and then you came in tomorrow and added something else at the bottom, it wouldn't be included in the filter. So that's why we set aside exactly what we're going to filter. I normally put a border around it so that I know. In fact, I will go as far as on my spreadsheets to actually hide the rest of that stuff so that you know that that's what you're working with. We don't want to go below there. But that's for another video. So once you've selected that section there, you can put the filters in. And now what you can actually do is you can then come in here and you can go but sort, and it'll say what do you want, smallest to largest, largest to smallest. So you can sort. You can also do a filter where you can say, well, actually, I'd only like to see the ones, please. And then it will filter out everything. Just remember that once you filtered it, you don't want to then look at this table and go, oh, there are only ones. You need to remember that you've got that filter applied. So just bear that in mind. You can go back to select all, and it'll open everything up again. Or you can just simply come, so let's just have a look here and do A, B, C, E, F, G, whatever the case might be. So when you come here and you say sort, smallest to largest, it sorts this whole table out based on the one that you've selected in order to sort. So that's how you put tables in. There's one last thing I want to show you is when you actually if you go to locking the spreadsheet. So if you go to review and protect, so you want to put a password in to protect the work, but before you put the password in, if you've got one of these tables on the page and you're locking it, you obviously want people to be able to use that table, and these cells here should all be unlocked. So what you do is you just scroll down to where it says sort and use auto filter, and just check those two, which basically gives the user permission to sort and to use the auto filter, and then okay. So when your workbook's locked, you can still come here and sort sort and use the auto filter. If you don't check those two and lock it, then when you come here, it won't click on anything. It won't let you use it. So you really want to be able to make sure that you do that. So that's the auto filter. The other thing to remember is you can only really have one of these per page. If I had a table there and then I wanted to actually come and create another table, and I came here and went to the data, you can't put another filter in. As soon as you click that, it's going to undo this filter. So you can only have one per page. So what I would do is just, if you're going to have a page with a whole bunch of little tables, and I wouldn't put these filters in. If you have one with one main table on it, or data entry, that kind of thing, then have the table, the filters, but you can't do it more than once. I hope that's helpful to you, and I hope that explains how to use the filters and the sorters. And yeah, all the best. Thank you.